YouTube's Will from Will Development. This is my 289th weekly update. I'm going to turn the fan off a little bit. It's annoying me. Anyway, we are in week 2 of at-home workouts, at-home training, and finally getting to a rhythm of things, finally getting back into the groove of things. Squatting 2 days a week so far, pressing 2 days a week at least. And then I've had so many stone orders lately. Not even really a lot of stone orders, just the actual volume of stones being ordered, that every Saturday has been spent pouring, and even some Wednesdays have been spent pouring. This is just 2 weeks now, and the trend seems to be continuing. Let's just put it that way. I'm very busy on that front, which I'm so thankful for. Anything to keep me busy is always a good thing, keeps me out of trouble. And I did want to let everybody know that there will be a 2 video coming out on Wednesday this week. It's an intermittent thing. I'm not going to make any promises about it coming back full time just yet. They more than likely they will not go back to regularly scheduled weekly features until back at the gym and things like that. Part of the reason is normally my girlfriend's the one who records a lot of my lifting when I do manage to get it lifted, and she usually finishes her workouts before me anyway. But especially now, she's doing very short training sessions, so she's super done. She's back in the house hanging out, chilling, so I'm not going to ask her to come back out and film me, and I'm too lazy to set up a camera and go back and yada yada yada. It is what it is, but I will continue to make the old college try at getting some more footage out there as much as I can. If anything, just to give people some ideas on at-home training. I believe I talked about it last week, how I am very blessed to have a squat rack and a barbell and a log and an axle and about 400 pounds in plates, so I can get a lot of stuff done anyway, but I have been doing some fun little things here and there. I've been challenging myself with some push-up, some pull-up implementations, trying to just do pull-ups every single day, and using the opportunity where it's like, you know what, okay, I'm not at the gym, let me just do pull-ups here and get really good at those while I'm away. That being said, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the training. I ended up going heavy at the beginning of the week and then a little bit lighter near the end of the week here. And essentially what I'm doing is 1 main movement and then like 2 supersets of some form of an accessory movement, which is my basic training anyway, but it tends to get done a little bit faster since it's really just me a lot of times getting through everything, so I'm not getting distracted by bullshitting with anybody and things of that nature. So I squatted. Ended up, actually, I said I went heavy in the week. I actually didn't go heavier on squats in the beginning of the week. I ended up doing a little more rep work at the beginning of the week. Just ended up doing like 4 sets of 4, I think, with like 275. Maybe it was 3 sets of 4 because I did 3 sets of 3. So I just added an extra rep on top of it, and just trying to get a little more comfortable with that. To me, right now, heavier weights. And instead of chasing a single like I did last week, I decided I would just do a singles day on Thursday, being yesterday, at which I went up to 335, and it was pretty okay. My squat platform has about a 1/2 inch pitch backwards because it's right on the back of my house, and so I'm leaning back when doing all of my movements out of that rack, which adds a little bit of a challenge to most lifts that are done on your feet. And I would assume once we implement a bench, it'll be the same story there. Things will be just a little bit different, a little more incline on that bench. But it's fine. It's okay. It's one of those things. No excuses. And deadlifted on Thursday after that heavy single. Worked up to like a heavy set of 5 at like 335 or 345 or something like that. Jumped straight to 365. Pulled a single there. Threw 405 on the bar because 365 just flew up, and I said, you know what, let me give it a shot. Put 405, just a belt and myself and hook grip, and it flew right up. I was very happy about that. So probably next week on deadlifts I'll do a little more rep work with it. If not even trying to do it twice a week, just to kind of get some more movement pattern recognition, that kind of thing. You do something more, tend to get better at it. So, and then in the 2 video, you'll actually see some of the more strongman lifts that I've been doing. I had some junk concrete laying around because, I made stones for so long. You end up with stones that just don't meet spec, and stones that are sometimes end up they just don't come out right. So you just have them laying around. So I have a good 130 hanging around and 175 junk stone laying around. I'm sorry, 160 and a 170-ish laying around that I've been playing with, doing triple extensions after my squats and supersetting those with pull-ups and stuff like that. And then I have some essentially bags that just went bad. I've been doing this for like 5 years, I think. I've been making stones, and over the years, every once in a while, you just leave a bag somewhere out in the, even not that much exposed, and they just, they go bad. Water gets inside of them, moisture from the air, and that, they go bad. Sometimes they got rained on, that sort of thing. So I had some bags laying around that were just had solidified essentially, so that I can't really do anything with them in terms of stones. So I said, well, let me just do some press work with them. And I had one that was broken in half, and it was about 43 pounds ish. I did some single arm pressing with that one day, and then had this 80-pound, just a full 80-pound bag, so it weighed about 90 because of the water being mixed with it. And that one was real junky and big, and I was pressing that one of the days. And then I had this stone that I had started to pour because I had some leftover concrete from a mix. And I filled it about halfway one time, and then I filled a little bit more, and I just never did anything with it again. And I just recently cleaned the mold out finally and brought it back inside. It's a very unpopular size. It's I think it's the 14-inch or the 12-inch or something like that. It's not a popular size. I think it might be the 10-inch. Yeah, because I have 8, 10, 14, yeah. So I think it's the 10-inch one, and it's just not a popular size. Nobody ever orders it, but I have it. So, I was like, I'll just have it here to lay around or whatever, and I just never got around to totally filling up the mold. So finally cleaned it out, and it ended up with this half hemisphere, or I guess I should say half globe, right? With this little nub on top that's impossible to grab. And I said, it'd be cool if I could just, kind of hub pinch that up a little bit. It only weighs 23 pounds, I think, when I weighed it. So it's not really that impressive of a hub lift. I've lifted, I think I've done a 40. I know I've done high 30s on a hub pinch before. Lift just with an actual implement and the loading pin. So I knew I could do the weight. It was just finding somewhere to grab, and when I actually grabbed it on one of the times, it actually split open my thumb and cut me, but it kind of helped because it dug in. It kind of a John Madden laugh there for a second. Brett Favre. And it dug into my thumb and actually drew blood, but it helped because when it cut into it, it actually gripped it. So when it hurt, but I was like, oh, and I was actually able to pick it. It was so funny because I did it with both hands, and then when I actually had somebody filming it, lo and behold, I couldn't do it all of a sudden, so I had to switch and finally got it on the one. And so, you'll see that in the 2 video on Wednesday if you are so inclined to watch it. So other than that, I hope everybody's staying safe. This will pass. We'll all go back to normal. Take the opportunity to do some calisthenics. I've started doing yoga on Wednesdays now. Doing yoga once again. And last Wednesday went a lot better than this week, ironically. Normally the first session back is terrible, and then the second one's better. I was just so burned out by Wednesday because I did a bit of heavy lifting on Tuesday. With my pressing, I think I went up to 170 for a few sets of single strict presses, which is not near a record, but done on a barbell, and I'm really working on keeping that mobility of it right here on the clavicle and, getting that full range of motion as best I can. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I finally get back to doing axles, I want to make sure that I still have that mobility to lay the axle right at my chest, because then when I push press, it'll be coming off the shelf here and not me hanging, and then there's energy loss there, you know what I mean? That's kind of a minor detail some people don't really talk about when they're doing push pressing, where you're losing a lot of power in that rebound here. Because, just look at that. Even if I lock my arms in as best as I can, there's still going to be motion here, no matter what, and especially when there's heavy weight. So my personal opinion is that you should probably work on your mobility to the point where you can at least have it resting somewhat on your clavicle / that shelf that gets built when you raise your arm right there on the front delts, and you can hold it there, and then when you're actually push pressing, you're pushing it off of your chest and upper torso is the best, I guess it's the right word, upper trunk, I don't know. That's my not pro tip for the week, which will not be a series for a very long time if I ever start anything like that. As always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're taking advantage of all the free workouts everybody's giving out. And if you have any questions on anything, just let me know. I will be pouring some pressing blocks this weekend, though. At least one, because I need more than 90 pounds. 90 pounds just isn't enough. I'll probably do about a 150, because that's enough to suck, but still doable. And it'll be a decent carrying implement, too. So I'll do that this weekend. I just picked up some more concrete today. That was an interesting trip to the hardware store, but I guess that's a home improvement store, isn't it? Regardless, stay safe out there, guys, and let me know if you have any questions. If you don't, then what's your excuse?